Ladies and gentlemen, just when I thought that 2026 is going to be a year when there's peace and prosperity, President Asiel just launched a attack on Venezuela and even captured the president of Venezuela. And this is a shocking news. Let's just watch on what's happening. So this is a breaking news. US has struck Venezuela, and this is a very big shocking news. And let's watch and see what are the issues and why did they do it and what's the implication to the world economy and stock market. So US has just announced that they have launched a military strike against Venezuela military infrastructure. And right now, Donald Trump is orchestrating the whole thing. What is confirmed is air and missile strikes has been launched. Ground troops involvement was earlier not confirmed, but now that it is confirmed that the President Nicolas Maduro has been captured, so ground troops are now involved. So this is a very real and serious problem. I got breaking news that just arrived in. I'm going to read to you. The United States of America, according to Donald Trump's post on his True Social, has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leaders, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with the US law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a new news conference at 11 a.m. Today. So thank you for attention, Donald J. Trump. So it is confirmed that ground troops are now involved. So this is a real attack on foreign soil, and this is quite serious. Now, there were precision airstrike and military strike on their military targets. The strategic strikes are against Fute Tinua, if I pronounce it correctly, and La Carlota Air Base. So power outages were reported in their military zone, and U.S. naval and air assets have now amassed in the Caribbean, ready to project their presence in the region. And in a breaking news just a few minutes ago at recording time, U.S. have captured Venezuela leader, says Donald Trump, and they are flying them out of the country. I don't know to where, possibly to United States. And that's very serious, right? Imagine they fly into Singapore or Malaysia and take out our prime ministers and just flew them off. That's very serious. The scale of the military action so far is limited to airstrikes, but it's now confirmed that that ground troops are involved, at least in capturing the president. So maybe at this point in time, I just want to quickly tell everybody that at 10:30 tonight, we will do a crash buying lesson on executing or buying crashes. It's an important lesson. Don't miss a live stream. I don't keep much of my crash buying videos. You will learn a lot from it. So don't miss it. I'll see you at 10:30 tonight. Let's go on with the video. So why is US doing this? Well, the official justification is that they are targeting narcotics terrorism, which right now Venezuela has been accused of doing. There is two organizations within Venezuela that is now earmarked to be terror organizations because they get involved with drugs and things like that. And U.S. position is that Venezuela operate as a narco state. That means narcotic state. And the president and the senior officials has been accused of facilitating drug trafficking. And right now, they just really want to take out these drugs that are coming into U.S. Well, it seems like people are believing that there is a political objective as well. Number one is that the 2024 elections in Venezuela, U.S. maintained that President Maduro has lost and his third term is illegitimate. And he wants to put pressure on the state to really to pressure the military to abandon Maduro, and they have got support for opposition party. So there is some speculation that this attack is more for regime change rather than just a drug reason. But the obvious one that is very, very obvious is that Venezuela has the largest world's proven reserve of oil. So because of this, they probably can be exploited for US gains. So this could be a case of outright resource seizure or robbery. And there are lots of gold and mineral deposit as well. So behind the facade of drugs, anti-drug operation is probably some of this involvement as well. Well, there is quite a lot of U.S. troops involved now. 15,000 U.S. troops positioned around. Okay, and there's FA restriction. There's oil tanker blockade and seizure. And terror strike groups are already deployed around there. So they are very serious. What is unconfirmed that there are ground troops deployment, and the fact that President Maduro has been arrested. He has to be arrested by US troops. So Chinook helicopters were being involved. Now, Chinook helicopters, for some of you may not know, are big size helicopters that carry troops. Singapore Armed Forces use them as well. In our Singapore Armed Forces, through our Air Force, actually has them as well. I've flown in Chinook before as well. So they're really for, for lifting troops. There's no reason to a Chinook if you do not want troops deployment. So it's very clear that troops are involved right now. So while it's not cited, I think we can infer that Chinook, this is by the way a look of a Chinook, okay? Chinook is now involved, and I think that there are quite some Delta Force or some kind of special forces involved. So probably there are, now that the president is taken out, there's high probability of further escalation of conflict between the two countries. I'm quite sure there'll be a next chain of command that will take over, and possibly some engagement with US as well. We don't know what this will be, but I don't think there'll be a full-scale invasion. But there could be some continued airstrikes and missile strikes, more covert operation of some form. So hard to say, but I think let's watch on. So let's quickly talk about the market implications. So number one is with this involvement, maybe there's some temporary volatility to oil prices, possibly a short-term oil spike of some form. So there could be some supply disruption in a short while. Venezuela is a large oil exporting country. There could be some pressure on gold prices, as well as war and geopolitical tension are generally catalysts for gold. So for those people who has been buying gold, well, guess what? The gold prices are probably set to go even higher. Equities, I don't think there'll be much of an impact because it really doesn't matter much unless the oil price actually spiked up a lot. Now, question really will be, will there be some involvement by other superpowers, maybe China, maybe Russia, whatever? I don't think so. China is a organization, so it's a country that generally don't like to kepo unless conflict is nearby their borders. Venezuela is very far away. I don't think they want to get involved. Russia got their own problem. They can't even wrap up the fight with Ukraine, so I don't think they'll get involved. So I don't think that this will have big impact on the world economy, but certainly oil prices and gold prices is worth watching. So you take a look from ourselves. I don't think they're much involved with our country, but certainly with Trump, I'm surprised that he professed quite a lot that he wanted to bring peace to the world, and yet he launched an attack on Venezuela. So really, the things to watch on is really whether there'll be a prolonged engagement and war with Venezuela, whether ground troops will continue to be involved in any way. I doubt so. Trump is a person that doesn't like to be stuck in ground troop involvement. So I don't think so. So I think it's a space worth watching. I'll watch this space very closely. Generally, Venezuela, too far away from us. We probably think that is none of our business. But however, it's hard to say because we thought that Ukraine and Russia, the kind of war is too far away from us, but there were quite a lot of inflationary spike because of the war, and we certainly don't want that to happen. So let's see whether what this spills out. Let's watch this space very carefully. But meanwhile, continue to join me in my live stream tonight at 10:30. I will break the lesson to you guys and update you in case there are new development on this news as well. I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.